How's it going, guys? Welcome back. It is March 31st, going into April tomorrow. It's been a bit. I had I had one good trade. I did two trades today. But yeah, let's go and take a look at the four that I was really looking at today playing. So here we go on tops. Last 3 days, huge run up last two. Then we came down a little bit today as a pullback. All the way back from this day, it was a check this out. Like a almost a 700% gain in a matter of 2 days. So let's go and zoom in, look at the hourly. You can see gap ups, huge run up, and then a gap up, and then a big gap down today. So I actually made a pretty good profit this morning on this. And I'll show you guys here in a minute. So I was, hold on, let me pull up one of my indicators right here. Okay, so why is there two of them? Okay, so take a look at this, guys. Okay, so this is what I was looking at on pretty much tops here. So beginning of the day, we had this huge gap down, and I was already looking at the 5-minute chart. I was seeing that it was getting very oversold right here on the RSI when it was dropping under the 30. So I was going to enter a trade right there at the beginning of the day. I went and pretty much was buying here in the morning when we were very oversold. When first, 6:30 in the morning my time, got in. There was a 44% gain there. I didn't capture all of it, but I captured a lot of it and ended up getting a pretty good gain. Ended up selling pretty close to the top, if not the top. So yeah, these oversold bounces definitely proving a good scenario. And if you would have missed that one in the morning, you had another buy opportunity right here when RSI dipped below the 30 again. You could have bought here and scalped for a good 20% gain on that. And then pretty much the rest of the day pretty much went into an equilibrium pattern with a high, a low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. And I'm not 100% sure what happened after hours, but you pretty much just waiting for a break, of pretty much, the high. And then we saw tightening ranges form here. And you're pretty much waiting for either a bear break or a bull break to occur. So yeah, I made the first good day trade. I missed this one, and by then I was just pretty much just sitting and waiting on that one. So we did see a pretty significant pullback today. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm pretty much just patiently, sitting and waiting for these perfect opportunities to really present themselves. So that's what was going on tops. Here we go on Boeing on the daily. I was talking about some pullbacks coming, which again, third day of a pullback. So that was my first day. I actually got into a trade here, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and lost barely any. I cut losses quick. Definitely didn't even take anything close to the amount that I made in the first trade in the morning. But yeah, as you can see, 2 days now of red. We opened up here and closed a little bit below that, so it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen tomorrow. But if we go zoom in, again, sold on the RSI. Definitely could have got a good dip buy there, buying these oversold bounces. Looking at a quick 8% gain. If you would have held all the way to here, you would have seen a 13% gain. But yeah, we came down, serviced a higher low from 140, so that's definitely a good sign. And then we came up and established a higher high from 151, so that's definitely a good sign. But you talking about how you find support, you want to look at multiple time frames. So I see 140 here as support, so that's your support line. And then come up, let's create a high. Now we have to make a higher low, higher than 140, which we did, 145. So if you have support, set, let's say 140. So if it dips below 140, then that's your support. And if it breaks support, you want to cut losses quickly and get out. But if you're, bossing them up here and you didn't sell that and you're still holding, as long as you're above this 140, you're still holding support. And then actually this right here, the 145, you could say create a new support, and you can change your support, raise your support up to 145 and use that as your new support. And then we created a new high, a 160, right? And then as we come down, you just wait to see if we're going to create a higher low, higher than 145. They really get out. So that's kind of how I look at support. And you want to look at multiple time frames. So that was a 15. Now if you zoom out to the hourly, there could be different supports, like 89 here and 93, definitely support levels, right? And we also have a high at 186, so that's going to be either support or resistance. It's going to be resistance if you're under it. So resistance means it's going to be hard to break. So a lot of times you see we have 186 as support. If this thing comes up, it's going to be harder to break 186 because we see support. But if you do break it, you could see a pretty good run up to the upside, because a lot of day traders are going to see that. Although if we don't break, let's say we hit it and we come back down, that's considered a double top. And the more times you hit a resistance line and don't break it, you create double tops, triple tops. The more tops you create, when it finally does break, a lot of other traders and day traders are going to see this, and everybody's going to jump in and really start buying. So more traders that learn this stuff, the more that it's going to behave like it does. So that's borrowing 2 down days in a row. We'll see tomorrow if we can get a green day or a red day. And then OMI, this thing, like I said, 843 was really the breakout yesterday, and that we saw. And then it's going to zoom in. But yeah, pretty much today we gapped up, and this pretty much saw green, pretty much saw it pretty much run up the entire day. So if you were to buy this end of the day, yesterday, 63% gain. Go to the 5-minute chart. Again, 890 is your all-time high. So that's what I've been looking at as the all-time high. We came up here and we're bouncing pretty much right on that 890. And then when again, we really broke here. You could have bought that for a small profit up there, but we'll see what happens tomorrow, because we did break above that. And as far as today, we are in a pretty good uptrend. So OMI, we'll be looking to see pretty much what happens tomorrow. This was the biggest one on the day. Sgbx. We do have some resistance at 12, as you can see here. Yeah, so key resistance here at $12. Going to zoom into the hourly. Very oversold here on the RSI. Zoom into the 5-minute chart. Again, 623 with key support here. When we did break out, let me get rid of this. So when we broke out right here, as we were breaking out, that's when I would have bought. So 623, I would have looked at that. And then as we were breaking out right here, you could have bought, and you'd be looking, not including, I don't know what happened in after hours, but you'd be looking at a 41% gain if you were just holding this, and possibly even higher tomorrow. So that's really how I like to play. I like to see these clear breaks. Like a pattern like you see 621, it comes down, and then it kind of rises. And then when we break, maybe towards the end of the day, you really, gave you a lot of people to really see this playing out. A lot of people really seeing this breakout. So when that happened, a lot of buyers came in and bought. And you have a high, higher low, higher high. So that's really what you're looking for, these stair climber actions. So, if that being said, if you would have bought here, then your support is going to be 623. If it breaks below 623, that's going to be your signal to cut losses, get out, right? But then as we came up, as long as we create a higher low, you can say, okay, we created a higher low, and then we're going to come back up. What you're looking for is a higher high, which we created right here, right? Because you want to stay in an uptrend. This is still an uptrend as long as you create higher highs and higher lows. Now, if we would have came down and established let's say we came up and then we established a lower high and a lower low, that's definitely a bearish sign, and you want to get out of that, because we're probably going to continue to go lower. So Definitely a lot to look at, guys. A lot to learn, right? But definitely a lot of opportunities to make a lot of money. So I hope you guys are learning and I hope you guys are profiting. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.